We're joined now by Tansy Deegan. She is the owner of Arthur Murray Dance Studios in Northville and Ann Arbor, joining us now on the MegaCast. Tansy, thank you for being with us today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on. So tell us a little bit about the Arthur Murray Dance Studios.
Yeah, so Arthur Murray is an established franchise for ballroom dancing for over 100 years, and we have several in the Detroit area. I personally own and operate the Ann Arbor location as well as the Northville location, but we have locations in Royal Oak and Sterling Heights as well.
We're joined by Tansy Deegan. She is the owner of Arthur Murray Dance Studio in Northville and Ann Arbor, with us today on the MegaCast. And Tansy, for this dance studio, is this something that has programs for a little bit of everyone? Is it for people that are more of a novice dancer, some that are just social dancers and just want to get out and have some activity? Or is this a formal dance studio where they're teaching either semi-professional, professional, or those that are aspiring to do dance competitively? Is there a mixture there?
It's a total mixture. We have everything. I would say, honestly, most of our students come to us as brand new novice students, just wanting to try something fun, increase a little exercise, self-confidence. They maybe have a special event they're going to and want to feel more confident with it. But ultimately, it can become a hobbyist level where they compete and do shows and travel around the whole world doing competitions, really. And so we've got a mixture of both.
So you're able. So the studio also has some opportunities for people, kind of like myself, who I'm not. It's not that I can't dance. It's that I just don't, because I'm not very good at it. But I also know some people that think they're good at it, but their whole dance is kind of like if you've seen the Seinfeld episode where Newman picks up some jambalaya from the soup knots and he comes down and he just, kind of shifts around like that. They need some help. Can people get that help from the Arthur Murray Dance Studios, either in Northville or in Ann Arbor? And how do you go about that?
Yeah. So right now we do lots of different options for students who want to get started. I mean, we have an option for pretty much everybody, ranging from at-home lessons on Zoom. We're doing outdoor lessons. And of course, you can come into the studio and do lessons as well. But yeah, if you have moves already, want to improve your moves, or have no moves and just want to develop some dancing, that's definitely what we're here for.
And why should people consult with a dance studio if they're trying to learn that? Because, and just playing a little bit of devil's advocate, people are at home, they've been using the internet for everything else in their life. They can go through a bunch of tutorials or take some online dance classes with some YouTuber. Why should they go through a professional studio instead, like the Arthur Murray Studios in Northville or Ann Arbor, or both, to learn to dance or to improve their dancing?
Yeah. Because dancing is connection. Dancing is an exchange of energy. And as much as technology has helped us maintain connection with people when we're social distancing, when we're together and we're actually dancing, it's just so much more impactful to have that person-to-person, face-to-face, and feel the energy and connection in a live setting. There's just nothing quite like it.
Over 40 million students taught worldwide through Arthur Murray Dance Studios, and they have two of them here in Lower Michigan, here in Northville and in Ann Arbor. We're joined by the owner of those two studios in Northville and Ann Arbor, Tansy Deegan, with us today on the MegaCast. And earlier on in the pandemic, much like gyms, much like a lot of other places of business and facilities, dance studios were one of many that were closed because of COVID-19, especially early on. And as they've opened back up, how has business recovered? Are more people coming to the dance studio now than before? Or is it back at normal levels that it was maybe pre-pandemic or something else?
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of people coming back in for dance lessons. People are super excited to be out and to be moving again and to be connecting with people. Obviously, this year had a huge wedding season, and we do a lot of wedding dances for couples. So we had a really busy summer with wedding dances, but we're also seeing lots of people who just don't want to be in the house anymore and are excited to get out and try a new hobby that's healthy and safe.
We're joined by Tansy Deegan. She is the owner of Arthur Murray Dance Studios in Northville and Ann Arbor. And so businesses of all different kinds right now are trying to be continuing to try to be mindful of the COVID-19 situation. A couple months ago, things were looking a lot better. Our case numbers were low. Michigan was in a good range. Now it's a completely different case. The script has been flipped. The entire state of Michigan is in a high or substantial rate of community spread of COVID-19, according to the CDC. The only state in the entire country that is not in that high or substantial rate currently is California, and they just got out of that. So businesses have to continue to be mindful of COVID-19, and dancing is an intimate activity. It can be in close proximity. There's a lot of movement. People are going to be, it's a form of exercise, so people are breathing in close proximity to one another. So what's being done at your studios to help prevent the spread of COVID-19 while still allowing for these fun activities and these active and this active recreation to happen in your businesses?
Yeah, I mean, we learned so much in the last 18 months about this, and we've learned how to do it safely. So we still are doing lots of lessons on Zoom. That is still a thing for some people who choose to stay home. We're doing lessons outside. So we have lots of fresh air activities happening. And then it's really nice inside because we kind of do all of our programming around private lessons. So we can control how many people are in the studio at one time. So it's typically a couple working with an instructor or a single person working with an instructor. And so we're able to kind of monitor how many people are in the studio and keep those numbers really low and really safe. We are so blessed to say that we have not had one single outbreak in our studio through the entire time of the pandemic, and we aim to keep it that way. Yeah,
it's good to hear. We're joined by Tansy Deegan. She's the owner of the Arthur Murray Dance Studios in Northville and in Ann Arbor, joining us on the MegaCast today. And Tansy, for those that may be interested or those that may be on the fence about learning to dance, or about going to a dance class, either with a friend, with a family member, with a significant other, or going alone, why now? Why is right now a good time for people to go to one of these classes, to start learning how to dance, to get back into dancing? Why is now the perfect time?
Why not now? I mean, I've been doing this for 20 years, and there's not a single time I tell somebody what I do for my career that they're not like, oh, I've always wanted to do that. And if you've always wanted to do it, what's holding you back? Get out there and do it. Take the leap. It's bringing joy into your life. It's spreading joy into the world. Learn to dance.
Yeah, we're joined by Tansy Deegan. She's the owner of Arthur Murray Dance Studios in Northville and in Ann Arbor. You can learn more about the programs at both of those locations that are now taking classes and taking individual lessons once again, as they have been for a little while now, as dance studios and gyms and other facilities like it are now reopened. And it's great activity. It's physical activity. It's social activity. You can meet a lot of people and improve as well. And you got Dancing with the Michigan Stars. It was held on August 19th. Ronnie Dahl from our team was involved in one of these events earlier on in the year. She's no longer with our team over here. She's moved on to different projects. But it was a very fun event. Tell people a little bit about that event and how maybe they can get involved for next year's Dancing with the Michigan Stars.
Sure. That's the charitable arm of Arthur Murray. What we do is we call it the biggest dance off, where we have different organizations, different charity organizations, all have a representative who are dancing to raise funds for their organization. So this year, for instance, we had 7 different dancers competing against one another, but all in the spirit of raising money for their favorite charity. So it's a really fun event, and we continue to grow it and raise more money for different organizations. We do accept nominees as dancers. We have a pretty long waiting list, but that changes a lot. So if anybody's interested, they can definitely get on the waiting list as a dancer or as a charity that would like to find a dancer to raise funds for them.
And this being the charitable arm of your business, what does your organization do with the funds that it does raise, and how does it benefit the community and people around us through dance or through other means?
So we raise money for other charity organizations. For instance, this year we were raising for 7 different organizations, ranging from Autism Alliance, Charles Woodson Foundation, Washtenaw 100. Tons of different charity organizations benefited from the money that we raised. And so they have a dancer who's raising funds through the process, and that money goes straight to the organization.
We're joined by Tansy Deegan. She is the owner of Arthur Murray Dance Studios in both Northville and in Ann Arbor. They are currently open at both locations for private dance lessons and private couple and in-person classes, as well as other more open classes as well. And with everything that you mentioned earlier on, that their business, and like many other businesses, has learned a lot over the course of the pandemic, has taken on new ventures, has taken on new activities to help keep the business alive when it was closed, as it was reopening, now that it's been reopened. What are some of those lessons that were learned over the course of the pandemic that maybe are turning into things that are going to continue to be part of your business model going forward as we come out of the pandemic slowly but surely, and then in the eventual post-pandemic world?
Yeah, I mean, I think if there was one of those fun mock elections of people least likely to embrace technology, I would be the winner for that. I've always resisted technology. And so clearly for me, the biggest transition was embracing Zooms, embracing this way of communicating, and being able to still stay in touch with our students and the staff, and really keeping our community that we've created within four walls, even expanding that to their homes. So for me, it would be that lesson was huge. And just in general, anything worth doing is worth doing well. And so it's just really putting our best foot forward at all times and saying, how can we be flexible in this moment? How can we adjust to make this still work?
We're joined by Tansy Deegan. She is the owner of Arthur Murray Dance Studios with locations in Northville, their locations, however, in Northville and in Ann Arbor. Joining us today on the MegaCast, and Tansy, a few more minutes with you today. So before we go, if people are interested in taking some of these classes, a virtual or an in-person class, private classes, or more open classes that they can learn to dance or get back into dance or improve their dancing, how can they get in contact with the Arthur Murray Studios and sign up for these classes or ask questions and get more information?
Yeah, like I said, my resistance toward technology, my go-to would be call us. We'd love to talk to you. The phones are open. We're here from 1 until 10 p.m., Monday through Friday. There's also, of course, we've got great websites and Facebook pages and Instagrams and all of those things where you can find us and reach out that way and we'll respond. But the best way to really get all the information you need in one good go is to call us and have a conversation, stop by the studio, and see what we have to offer.
Well, Tansy, we appreciate your time. Thank you for the insight on dancing and for letting us know about all the opportunities that are there for people to learn to dance, to improve dancing, to get back into it, or just have a little fun through dance here in our local area.
Definitely. Thanks for having me.